Welcome back to Play, Rewind, Eject. Today, we are exploring 10 underappreciated horror movies from the 1990s. The Ugly is a psychological horror film directed by Scott Reynolds. The story revolves around Simon Cartwright, a confessed serial killer played by Paolo Rotondo, who has spent the last 5 years in a mental hospital. A female psychologist, Dr. Karen Shoemaker, is brought in to evaluate him, aiming to understand the mind of a murderer. As Dr. Shoemaker delves into Simon's past through a series of interviews, she learns about his traumatic childhood and the events that led to his violent behavior. The film employs a mix of flashbacks, intertwining Simon's dark history with the present, creating a disorienting narrative that keeps viewers on edge. The film is notable for its unique visual style, particularly the use of black blood, which symbolizes Simon's detachment from humanity. This artistic choice adds a surreal quality to the horror, blurring the lines between reality and Simon's twisted perceptions. With a runtime of 1 hour and 33 minutes, The Ugly blends elements of drama, horror, and thriller genres. It explores themes of trauma, identity, and the nature of evil, inviting the audience to empathize with a character who is both a victim and a perpetrator. The film has received mixed reviews, holding an IMDb rating of 6.0 out of 10. Critics have praised the performances, particularly Rotondo's portrayal of Simon, which conveys a complex mix of vulnerability and menace. The character's psychological depth makes him both relatable and terrifying. Despite its shortcomings, such as an ambiguous ending that some viewers found unsatisfactory, The Ugly stands out for its atmospheric tension and psychological depth. The film's eerie score and cinematography enhance its unsettling mood, immersing the audience in Simon's nightmarish world. As the film draws to a close, Dr. Shoemaker confronts Simon with the truth about his past, leading to a climactic moment that forces him to face his demons. In a shocking twist, as he begins to unravel, the screen flickers, and the audience is left questioning what is real. The final scene shows Simon in a mirror, his reflection shifting between the killer and the innocent child he once was. The film ends on this haunting image, leaving viewers to ponder the duality of human nature and the thin line between sanity and madness. The Ugly invites viewers to confront the darker aspects of the human psyche while maintaining a gripping narrative. For fans of psychological horror, this film is a compelling exploration of the mind of a killer, challenging conventional horror tropes and lingering long after the credits roll. Hardware is a gripping sci-fi horror film directed by Richard Stanley. Set in a post-apocalyptic future, the world has been ravaged by nuclear war, resulting in a desolate landscape filled with radioactivity and high temperatures. The story follows Moses Mo Baxter, portrayed by Dylan McDermott, a soldier who discovers a cyborg head and hand in the desert. He brings these parts back to his girlfriend, Jill, played by Stacey Travis, who is an artist creating sculptures. Unbeknownst to them, the head belongs to the dangerous Mark 13, a military project designed to be an autonomous killing machine. As Jill incorporates the cyborg head into her art, the machine begins to reassemble itself, using various household items and tools. The film escalates into a terrifying scenario as Mark 13, now fully operational, goes on a violent rampage, targeting anyone in its way. With a runtime of 1 hour and 34 minutes, Hardware combines elements of cyberpunk, dark comedy, and horror. The film's cinematography effectively captures the bleak and oppressive atmosphere of its world, though some viewers have noted that it can be overly dark at times. The film is notable for its innovative special effects, especially given its modest budget of $1.5 million. It has gained a cult following over the years, holding an IMDb rating of 5.9 out of 10. While some critics dismiss it as a B-movie, many fans appreciate its unique style and the thought-provoking themes it presents about technology and humanity. The performances, particularly by McDermott and Travis, add depth to the characters as they face the looming threat of the cyborg. The film also features a memorable score that enhances its tense atmosphere, making it a standout in the genre. As the film reaches its climax, the final confrontation between Mo and the resurrected Mark 13 unfolds in a chaotic battle of survival. In a shocking twist, Mo realizes that the only way to stop the machine is to embrace its technology, allowing it to integrate with him. The screen fades to black as the last remnants of humanity grapple with the consequences of their creations. In the end, hardware leaves viewers with a haunting question. In a world where technology and humanity collide, what price are we willing to pay for survival? This unsettling conclusion lingers long after the credits roll, inviting contemplation on our relationship with technology and the future that awaits. Castle Freak is a horror film directed by Stuart Gordon, based on an H.P. Lovecraft story. The plot follows John Riley, played by Jeffrey Combs, who travels to Italy with his wife Susan, portrayed by Barbara Crampton, and their blind daughter Rebecca, played by Jessica Dollarhide, after inheriting a mysterious castle. As the family explores their new home, they quickly discover that they are not alone. A deformed creature, a product of a dark family secret, lurks in the castle's shadows. This castle freak has been chained away, hidden from the world, but soon begins to wreak havoc on the unsuspecting family. The film explores themes of guilt, family trauma, and the consequences of past sins. John's character is haunted by a tragic accident in which he killed their son while driving drunk. This backstory adds emotional depth, highlighting the family's fractured relationships and the weight of guilt they all carry. With a runtime of 1 hour and 30 minutes, Castle Freak blends elements of drama, horror, and mystery. The film is filled with graphic violence and unsettling imagery, including dismemberment and intense gore, which has garnered it a cult following among horror fans. The cinematography effectively captures the eerie atmosphere of the castle, enhancing the sense of dread as the family confronts both their internal demons and the external threat posed by the creature. The performances, especially by Combs and Crampton, are compelling, bringing authenticity to their characters' struggles. Critically, the film holds an IMDb rating of 5.9 out of 10. While it may not reach the heights of Gordon's previous works like Reanimator, it is considered one of the more notable horror films of the 1990s. The makeup and special effects are praised for their creativity, particularly the design of the creature, which embodies the film's grotesque horror. In conclusion, Castle Freak stands as a unique entry in the horror genre, combining psychological depth with traditional monster elements. It challenges viewers to reflect on the nature of monstrosity, both physical and emotional, making it a compelling watch for fans of horror. The Resurrected is a chilling horror film directed by Dan O'Bannon, based on H.P. Lovecraft's novella, The Case of Charles Dexter Ward. The film follows private investigator John March, played by John Terry, who is hired by Claire Ward, portrayed by Jane Sibbett, to uncover the truth about her husband Charles Dexter Ward, played by Chris Sarandon. Set in modern-day Rhode Island, the story unfolds as Claire becomes increasingly concerned about Charles's obsession with his family's dark past and his strange experiments in a remote cabin. As March investigates, he discovers that Charles is delving into necromancy and other forbidden sciences, resurrecting the dead in a quest for immortality. With a runtime of 1 hour and 48 minutes, The Resurrected expertly blends elements of body horror, mystery, and the supernatural. The film is marked by its atmospheric cinematography and a haunting score by Richard Band, which enhances the unsettling mood. O'Bannon, known for his work on Alien and Return of the Living Dead, infuses the film with a sense of dread and intrigue. The narrative features flashbacks that weave together Charles's disturbing past with the present investigation, creating a complex story that keeps viewers engaged. The performances are compelling, particularly Sarandon's portrayal of the increasingly unhinged Charles Dexter Ward. His transformation throughout the film highlights the psychological horror at play as he grapples with his dark heritage and the consequences of his actions. Despite its strengths, The Resurrected has faced criticism for its pacing, with some viewers noting that it can feel drawn out. However, the film's dedication to Lovecraft's themes and its faithful adaptation of the source material are commendable. As the film nears its end, John March confronts Charles in a chilling showdown, where the boundaries between life and death blur. In a haunting final scene, as the shadows of the past close in, the camera pulls back to reveal the remote cabin surrounded by fog, leaving viewers with a lingering sense of dread. The screen fades to black, accompanied by echoes of Charles's twisted experiments, suggesting that the pursuit of forbidden knowledge may unleash horrors that transcend even death itself. The Resurrected invites viewers to ponder the depths of obsession and the haunting question, what truly lies beyond the veil of life? This unsettling conclusion resonates long after the credits roll, ensuring the film's place in the realm of thought-provoking horror. Body Parts is a chilling horror film directed by Eric Red. The story revolves around Bill Trushank, portrayed by Jeff Fahey, a criminal psychologist who faces a life-changing event after a car accident. In a horrific twist of fate, he loses his arm in the crash. Following the accident, Bill undergoes an experimental surgery where his lost arm is replaced with a limb that belonged to a notorious serial killer. This unsettling premise sets the stage for a psychological thriller that delves into themes of identity and morality. As Bill adapts to his new life, he begins experiencing disturbing hallucinations and violent urges. The film raises haunting questions about the nature of the human mind and the consequences of medical experimentation. Is the arm truly just a body part, or does it carry the essence of its former owner? The film features a strong supporting cast, including Lindsay Duncan as Dr. Agatha Webb and Kim Delaney as Karen Crushank, Bill's wife. Their performances add depth to the narrative, showcasing the emotional turmoil that arises from Bill's transformation. With a runtime of 1 hour and 28 minutes, Body Parts combines elements of body horror and slasher genres, delivering a mix of suspense and gore. The cinematography captures the unsettling tone, enhancing the viewer's experience as Bill's sanity unravels. Despite its intriguing premise, the film has received mixed reviews, holding an IMDb rating of 5.7 out of 10. Some viewers appreciate its ambitious ideas and the moral dilemmas it presents, while others criticize its execution and pacing. Notably, the movie features impressive stunt work and creative sequences, particularly during the climax where Bill confronts the consequences of his surgery. The film's blend of horror and dark humor keeps audiences engaged, even as it spirals into absurdity. In conclusion, Body Parts offers a unique take on the horror genre, exploring what happens when science and morality collide. The film invites viewers to ponder the implications of identity and the dark side of human nature. Popcorn is a unique blend of slasher horror and comedy directed by Mark Harrier and Alan Ormsby. Set in the early 1990s, the film follows a group of college students who decide to host a horror movie marathon in an old, abandoned theater. Their goal is to raise funds for their film department, which has been hit by budget cuts. The event features vintage horror films, complete with gimmicks like Aroma-Rama, 3D glasses, and shock seats, creating a nostalgic atmosphere reminiscent of classic drive-in experiences. However, the festive spirit is quickly overshadowed when a deranged killer, a master of disguise, begins to stalk and murder the students one by one. The film stars Jill Sholin as Maggie, a student haunted by nightmares involving a sinister figure from an old film. Tom Villard plays Toby, her eccentric friend, while Dee Wallace delivers a memorable performance as Suzanne, adding to the film's charm. With a runtime of 1 hour and 31 minutes, Popcorn combines elements of horror and humor, making it stand out in the crowded slasher genre. The film's self-awareness and clever nods to horror conventions keep viewers entertained, even as the body count rises. Critics have praised the film's originality, noting its ability to mix slasher elements with a comedic tone. The film holds an IMDb rating of 5.9 out of 10, with many fans appreciating its cult status and the engaging performances of the cast. The creative use of classic horror tropes and the film-within-a-film format adds layers to the narrative, making it a fun ride for horror enthusiasts. Despite its flaws, including some uneven pacing and a few cliches, Popcorn remains a beloved entry in the genre. Its playful homage to 1950s horror films and the fun gimmicks featured in the marathon offer an enjoyable viewing experience. As the final scenes unfold, the audience is left in suspense, with Maggie confronting the killer in a climactic showdown. Just when it seems she has triumphed, the screen flickers, and the film cuts to a chilling twist. The events of the movie may not be over. The camera pans out, revealing that the theater is still filled with an audience, and the real horror may be just beginning as the killer's identity remains shrouded in mystery. The film closes with an unsettling reminder that in the world of horror, the line between fiction and reality is often blurred. The Addiction is a thought-provoking horror film directed by Abel Ferrara, combining elements of philosophy and body horror within the vampire genre. The film follows Kathleen Conklin, played by Lily Taylor, a philosophy graduate student in New York City who becomes entangled in a dark and surreal journey after a fateful encounter with a mysterious woman Casanova, portrayed by Annabella Sciorra. Set against the backdrop of a gritty urban landscape, the film opens with Kathleen experiencing disturbing visions and a sense of existential dread. After being bitten by Casanova, she finds herself grappling with an insatiable thirst for human blood. This transformation serves as an allegory for addiction, exploring themes of sin, morality, and the darker aspects of human nature. With a runtime of 1 hour and 22 minutes, The Addiction uses striking black and white cinematography to enhance its bleak and haunting atmosphere. The film's unique visual style complements its philosophical undertones, as Kathleen's struggle reflects broader questions about existence and the human condition. Christopher Walken delivers a memorable performance as Pena, a fellow vampire who offers insights into the nature of their condition, adding depth to the narrative. The film is filled with philosophical musings, making it both intellectually stimulating and unsettling. Critically, The Addiction holds an IMDb rating of 6.5 out of 10. While some viewers may find its pacing slow or its themes heavy-handed, others appreciate its ambitious approach to horror. The film challenges conventional vampire tropes, opting instead for a more cerebral exploration of addiction and morality. As the film reaches its climax, Kathleen confronts the reality of her transformation. In a poignant final scene, she stands at the crossroads of her new existence, caught between the seductive allure of her vampiric nature and the remnants of her humanity. The screen fades to black just as she makes her choice, leaving viewers to ponder the consequences of her decision. The film closes with a haunting question echoing in the silence. Can one truly escape the darkness within, or does it become an inseparable future that awaits? The Reflecting Skin is a haunting film directed and written by Philip Ridley. Set in the 1950s, it immerses viewers in the life of a young boy living in rural America. The story unfolds as he grapples with his troubled family dynamics and a vivid imagination. As the plot develops, the boy becomes convinced that a neighboring widow is a vampire, responsible for a series of mysterious disappearances in the area. This central theme of childhood innocence, juxtaposed with the darker aspects of human nature, creates a tense atmosphere throughout the film. The cinematography is striking, showcasing the beautiful yet eerie landscapes of rural America. The visual storytelling complements the film's exploration of fear, fantasy, and the complexities of growing up. The boy's perspective invites the audience to question the nature of the monsters he perceives. Are they truly supernatural, or are they reflections of the real horrors present in his environment? The film's unique blend of genres, folk horror, drama, and thriller, sets it apart from traditional horror narratives. The slow pacing allows viewers to absorb the haunting imagery and unsettling themes. As the boy navigates his world, he encounters a series of bizarre and macabre characters, each contributing to his distorted view of reality. Viggo Mortensen delivers a compelling performance as Cameron Dove, alongside Lindsay Duncan as Dolphin Blue. Their portrayals add depth to the story, making the viewer empathize with the boy's confusion and fear. The film challenges perceptions of childhood, suggesting that the true monsters may be those who inflict pain and suffering on the vulnerable. Despite its artistic ambition, The Reflecting Skin is not without controversy. Some viewers find its ambiguous narrative frustrating, as it leaves many questions unanswered. However, this ambiguity invites deeper reflection on the nature of horror and the complexities of human relationships. With an IMDb rating of 6.7 out of 10, the film has garnered a cult following since its release. It won 6 awards and received 3 nominations, solidifying its place in the realm of thought-provoking cinema. As the film reaches its unsettling finale, the boy confronts not only the widow, but also the haunting truths about his own family. In a surreal final scene, he stands in a field, the sun setting behind him, as the boundaries between reality and imagination blur. The screen fades to black, leaving viewers with a lingering sense of dread and the haunting question, what truly defines a monster? This open-ended conclusion invites reflection on the nature of fear and the shadows that dwell within us all. Dust Devil is a haunting horror film directed by Richard Stanley, set against the stark backdrop of the Namibian desert. The story revolves around Wendy Robinson, played by Chelsea Field, who escapes her abusive husband. While on the run, she picks up a mysterious hitchhiker, portrayed by Robert John Burke, unaware that he is a shape-shifting demon who preys on lonely people. As Wendy's journey unfolds, the film intertwines her fate with that of a police detective, Ben Mukarab, played by Zakes Moke, who is investigating a series of gruesome murders. The narrative explores themes of isolation, fear, and the supernatural, creating an atmosphere of tension and dread. With a runtime of 1 hour and 27 minutes, Dust Devil combines elements of folk horror, slasher, and mystery genres. The film is notable for its stunning cinematography, capturing the vast and desolate beauty of the Namibian landscape. This setting enhances the film's eerie tone, making the viewer feel the oppressive heat and isolation. Despite its troubled production history, which included various cuts and edits, the film has garnered a cult following. The original cut was significantly altered by distributors, but Richard Stanley later managed to restore it closer to his vision. Critics note that the film's poetic brutality and surreal imagery make it a unique entry in the horror genre. The score by Simon Boswell adds to the film's haunting atmosphere, complementing its visual style. The dialogue is imbued with mysticism, reflecting the film's exploration of deeper existential themes. Characters are well developed, and the performances, particularly by Burke and Moke, are compelling. Dust Devil stands out not only for its horror elements, but also for its reflection on human emotions and the darker aspects of the human psyche. It invites viewers to question the nature of good and evil, as well as the supernatural forces at play. As the credits roll, we are left with a chilling final image. Wendy, now entwined with the desert's essence, gazes into the horizon. The landscape shifts, revealing the faces of those lost to the Dust Devil, a haunting reminder that escape may be an illusion. The film concludes not with resolution, but with an unsettling sense of continuity, suggesting that the cycle of fear and isolation continues, echoing through the vast emptiness of the desert. Necronomicon Book of the Dead is a horror anthology film that brings to life the chilling works of H.P. Lovecraft. Directed by Christopher Gans, Shusuke Kaneko, and Brian Yuzna, the film intertwines 3 separate stories linked by a wraparound narrative featuring Lovecraft himself, played by Jeffrey Combs. The film opens with Lovecraft exploring a mysterious library where he discovers the infamous Necronomicon, a book said to contain forbidden knowledge. As he reads, viewers are transported into 3 eerie tales of horror, each steeped in Lovecraftian themes of madness and the supernatural. The first segment, The Drowned, follows Edward de la Poer, a man who inherits an old hotel with a dark past involving the resurrection of his deceased family. This segment explores themes of love and obsession, culminating in a visually striking and gory climax. The second story, The Cold, centers on Dr. Madden, played by David Warner, who has developed a sinister method of prolonging life that requires a gruesome toll. This narrative delves into the horrors of immortality and the ethical boundaries of science, showcasing Warner's remarkable performance as a mad scientist. The final segment, Whispers, presents a fast-paced and nightmarish scenario where 2 police officers encounter horrific creatures in a subterranean labyrinth. This sequence is filled with grotesque imagery and intense action, embodying the chaos and terror of Lovecraft's world. With a runtime of 1 hour and 36 minutes, Necronomicon combines body horror, mystery, and the supernatural, offering viewers a visually dazzling experience. The film's special effects, crafted by Todd Masters, are particularly noteworthy, bringing Lovecraft's monstrous visions to life in a truly horrifying way. Despite its unique premise, Necronomicon received mixed reviews, holding an IMDb rating of 5.8 out of 10. Critics have noted that while the film has standout moments and impressive visuals, it struggles with pacing and coherence, particularly in the first segment. As the film draws to a close, Lovecraft's final words echo ominously. The true terror lies not in what we see, but in the knowledge we dare not confront. The screen fades to black, leaving viewers with a lingering sense of dread and the unsettling notion that the horrors of the Necronomicon may not be confined to fiction. Instead, they invite us to reflect on the darker corners of our own reality, suggesting that the real monsters may be the secrets we keep and the truths we avoid. And there you have it, 10 underappreciated horror gems from the 1990s that deserve a second look. Each of these films brought something unique to the genre, whether it was innovative storytelling, unforgettable characters, or a fresh take on classic horror tropes. If you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of horror cinema. Let us know in the comments which of these films you loved, or if there are any hidden gems from the 90s that we missed. Remember, the 90s were a transformative time for horror, filled with creativity and experimentation. So next time you're in the mood for a scare, consider revisiting these underrated flicks. Until next time, keep the lights on and the popcorn popping.